14 to go, and you guys, they are so good. Two of the best teams in the NFL going at it in Baltimore. A bad blood rivalry game in Pittsburgh, atop of the AFC West affair in KC. A game we might see again in the playoffs in Houston, and the 5 and 6 seeds currently in the NFC. You thought you felt bad about yourself after sitting on the couch all day yesterday? Here comes Sunday saying, hold my beer. I'm a little excited about this weekend. I don't know if you could tell.
I am too.
I'm Lindsay Rhodes. This is Terrell Davis. This is Maurice Jones-Drew.
Yes, hello.
This is NFL Total Access, and that, gentlemen, is must-see TV. Lamar Jackson and that Baltimore Ravens offense, which has scored 40-plus points in 3 straight games and has pretty much forgotten what it's like to punt with him in the game, hosting a San Francisco squad that just sent Aaron Rodgers packing with one of his worst stat lines ever. It is a battle of strength versus strength, and for more on the matchup, MJ Acosta is in Santa Clara.
In a week where it was both cold and rainy in Santa Clara, those close to the team are telling me they're taking this uncharacteristic weather as an omen ahead of the 49ers trip to Baltimore. Now, good faith is one thing, but the stats also favor the 49ers. San Francisco is 5-0 on the road and have no plans on blemishing that record. Kyle Shanahan's squad has been at home or in the Western time zone for the last 5 weeks, but coach says that travel is just another challenge they can face head on. Another obstacle, though, a big one waiting for them in Baltimore, is quarterback Lamar Jackson, who also stands as the Ravens' leading rusher. And running back Mark Ingram only adds to that dominant ground game. Defensive coordinator Robert Saleh called the Ravens a downhill, power-running team, a physical bunch. He says they'll have to bring it to them and once again prove why they are the #1 total defense in the league.
I cannot wait for this game. Both teams coming off of just outstanding performances. You were at that Baltimore game against the Rams.
How was that?
Got to see that up close and personal. How does that shape your opinion about what's going to happen this week?
Listen, first and foremost, that game wasn't the best for us. And I say us because I am part of the Rambley, and someone probably should have called the police because it wasn't a good game. It was one that definitely you want to forget. But I'll say this much: when you talk about the Baltimore Ravens and what they're able to do, when they have a lead, they are pretty much unstoppable. They will run down your throat. They will beat you up. They will do everything they can in their power to humiliate you. So what the Niners have to do, if the Niners want to have a chance to win, the 2 times the Baltimore Ravens have lost, they've been outscored. You have to have explosive plays. You have to be able to score in one play drives, 2 play drives, take big chunks down the field, and then get them out of what they want to do, their comfort zone, which is line up and just run the ball down your throat with Lamar Jackson, Mark Ingram, and Gus Edwards. Right? They want to put as many big bodies on the field. So if you can get them out of that and get them into 3rd and longs, down by 10 points, and make them have to throw the ball, that's your best chance at beating them. It just didn't happen on Monday.
Yeah, I think part of that, too, is putting some hats on Lamar Jackson. And you talked about, I think last week there were 5 drives, 5 touchdowns. They get off the bus running the ball extremely well. So the way to beat them, I think, is the first couple of plays, when they run that read option, when Lamar puts that ball down in Mark Ingram's belly, he needs to look up and see a few right L's on his chest, okay? So you can deter that play. Because that is ultimately what kills you, is the way when he puts it down, he pulls and runs. So if you're defensive coordinator Robert Saleh, I'm going to say, listen, we're going to be aggressive, attack the quarterback first. Yeah, we might give up some plays to the running back right now. That's the first thing. I think secondly, the 49ers, they're a team, they're the 2nd leading rushing team in the National Football League.
They're the 2nd scoring offense in the National Football League. We're talking about them like, here's how they might have a chance.
That's
They're
what I'm saying.
2.
So you can flip the script on this team and beat them the same way they beat other teams. Is you hit Lamar, and you win early in the game, so you make them have to play from behind. That's what you do. The Niners can do that.
You have to remember, too, the weather is going to be a problem. Yeah. The weather's going to come in. You're going to
rain.
Plus, you have to travel from the West Coast to the East Coast and then play at the 1 o'clock time slot. It's going to be.
You know
there's
what,
a lot of
though?
other things that go into
We
that.
looked that up today. Our researcher, Ben.
Yeah.
What's up?
You know what the record is this year for teams from the West who have made that trip east?
Minus the Bengals.
For the early game?
Minus the Bengals.
You can't minus the Bengals,
Okay.
but even with the Bengals,
What is it?
10-2.
Oh, that's.
Oh.
10-2,
There
it's
you go.
better than you
There
think,
you
right?
go.
Because we know that's been a narrative for the Raiders the last few years, and certainly was very recently. Matt Breida and Joe Staley both questionable for this one in San Francisco. Dee Ford is out, as is the Ravens center Matt Skura. They'll be starting an undrafted rookie at that position, who did play well in relief on Monday, though. We should point that out. Other injuries that could impact this week's games: James Conner is doubtful in Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster is out for Pittsburgh. T.Y. Hilton also out for the Colts. Zach Ertz is questionable for the Eagles. He's got a hamstring injury, limited at practice today. Von Miller has a knee injury. Vic Fangio says that he's 50-50 to play on Sunday. He might actually miss his first game since 2013. So that is one thing for us to monitor there in Denver. Ian Rappaport has another one, and it has to do with their quarterback this week. Do we know who it's going to be?
We have a very, very, very good indication of who the starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos is going to be this week. Here's what we know right now. Drew Lock, the rookie second-round pick, has been practicing, taking first-team reps every day this week. My understanding is practice has gone well, and Vic Fangio confirmed today that Drew Lock is going to come off injured reserve and be active for Sunday. Fangio would not say whether or not Drew Lock is definitely going to start. My understanding that all signs are pointing to another starter for the Broncos, and that Lock should take the first snap.
Lock in line to be the 53rd different starting quarterback this year in the NFL. It's been just a wild season at that position. Not as wild as the story coming out of Arizona today, though. What's going on with Josh Shaw?
Yeah, Josh Shaw was suspended for not just the balance of this season, but through the 2020 season for betting on NFL games. This handed down by Roger Goodell earlier this afternoon, and here's my understanding of where things stand. As soon as Josh Shaw found out, he flew to New York to meet with NFL officials about this. He was in a casino in Las Vegas with some of his high school friends. He had according to sources close to misunderstanding of the Supreme Court's ruling, used his own player card to place some bets, realized he had done wrong, came to the NFL. Too late. He was suspended through 2020. It remains to be seen whether or not he will appeal. I'm also told there was no evidence of fixing games whatsoever.
Thank you, Ian. Better news out of Philadelphia today, where Lane Johnson's going to be around for a while. The Eagles' right tackle signing a 4-year extension today that makes him the highest-paid offensive lineman in the league. $18 million a year on average, just under $55 million guaranteed. Coming up tonight, the crown jewel of the NFL's 100th season, the NFL 100 all-time team presented by Home Depot. Rich Eisen, Bill Belichick, and Chris Collinsworth unveiling 26 new members of the team to join the 12 running backs that were unveiled last week. It's happening at 8 p.m. Eastern right here on NFL Network, and it's going to be a lot of defense. All the front seven guys set to be revealed tonight, including the linebackers, of which there will be 12. TD, they're going to cut this list of 24 finalists in half. Who would you like to see make the cut?
Well, Junior and Seattle for me. And I played 7 years versus Junior. We went to the Chargers, San Diego Chargers. And I'm telling you, I have yet to see a player play that position better than Junior. And he was difficult to deal with because he can not only anticipate where the ball is going, he was a big linebacker, but he was also quick, so he was tough if you had to block him. But he was the guy that when we had to prepare against him, it was 10 guys, and then Junior, do whatever, our scout team, the guy lined up number 55, he just did whatever he wanted to do because Junior was like that. But he was so good at what he did and had did it for a long period of time, and unfortunate for him, he almost had a chance to win that Super Bowl with the Patriots, and he never got a chance to do that.
Yeah. And he's a Trojan, so extra points for that. Junior Seau, number 6 in the fan vote at NFL.com/100. I wish we'd seen you do that back then. One thing we saw last week on the show, a lot of pre-modern day guys ended up making the list. We'll see if that trend continues tonight, as we also learn the names of the 7 defensive ends that will make the team. From a fan voting standpoint, it looks like a lot of people want to see Reggie White make the list. Bruce Smith and Deacon Jones are also getting a lot of votes. Who would you vote for here?
Right here is Bruce Smith. I mean, Bruce Smith is the guy that was part of that Buffalo Bills team that went to 4 straight Super Bowls. I came in the league in 1995. The first game of my professional career, we were playing the Buffalo Bills.
The first game?
The first game. And I remember before the game that I walked around and I wanted to see Bruce Smith in person. And so I walked around, watched him in pregame warm-ups, and I'm like, that's Bruce Smith. And it was the only game that I can think of where I was super nervous, and it never went away. because of Bruce Smith and going up against that vaunted defense they had for so many years. And that guy right there is somebody that I know is going to be in the top 12.
That is a great story. We'll see if he makes the cut. We'll see if you're right. At 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 defensive tackles will also be revealed then, and we'll have a live reaction show after the reveal at 9 o'clock. And then the guy that you just talked about, he's going to get his own hour at 10 p.m. Eastern. Bruce Smith of Football Life, presented by Sprint. Maybe your game against him will make the cut.
Hopefully not. That means he was making plays on me.